All right, not the best news to be reading here from Kevin Acee in the San Diego Union Tribune. Yu Darvish, he is getting a rest due to fatigue. The good news here, it's precautionary as of now. They're not shutting him down for a month or anything like that. But it's not what you want to be reading here on March 16th when we're like a week and a half away from opening day. And Darvish, I think at the start of spring, would have been under consideration for sure to be starting on opening day. That's not going to happen anymore. I think it's going to be Dylan Cease. Mike Schultz said to the media today that they're going to announce the opening day starter tomorrow. Cease starts today. So if he gets through the start healthy, he is in line to get an extra day off that final time before starting on opening day. There is that off day, I think, on Wednesday. So that actually would definitely line him up to start on that Thursday with his throwing progression. The other guys obviously would not be starting on opening day. Kyle Hart, Stephen Kolek, and both guys could end up making the opening day roster with, we'll see what happens here, obviously, with Darvish. But yeah, Kevin writes, Yu Darvish has experienced what is being called fatigue, which has put his schedule leading up to the start of the season in flux, even as the Padres express minimal concern. Darvish's bullpen scheduled for Sunday was pushed back at least a day. That also means he won't start Tuesday on what would have been his normal turn. So if he would have started on Tuesday, every fifth day, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 23rd would be his next start, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. That fifth day, the next start after that would be the 28th, that Friday, which would have been the Padres' second game of the season. So it would have been Cease game 1, Darvish game 2. Now that seems like that wouldn't be the case because now he's off track on that schedule. Multiple sources indicated, according to Kevin, the rest for Darvish is precautionary. His status will be evaluated daily to determine when he next throws. The development with Darvish only serves to solidify the belief Dylan Cease will start on opening day, which is what I've been talking about already here. And really, who starts opening day doesn't matter. It's one of 162. I know it's a holiday, especially for someone like myself who has been a baseball fan my whole life. It's one of the best days of the year, but it is one of 162. That is a fact. That game matters just as much as a game on September 17th or a game on July 18th, you know? So especially with the state of this rotation and how important Darvish is for this team and what he can do when he's on, we saw that in the postseason and him deliver. Wasn't his fault the Padres lost. Was not his fault. He did his job. Offense didn't do theirs, obviously, good enough. And I'll give some credit to the Dodgers, obviously, for their pitching. But that's something that we're never going to forget. Anyway, with Darvish, he's going to be super important because Kolek is a question mark. Hart is a question mark in terms of how long will they be able to be a starter in the big leagues? How good are they going to be? Matt Waldron, he has the mild oblique strain. That's another one. So he has been knocked out of that fifth starter competition, at least to start the season. You have King, you have Pivetta, you have Cease. If you can't have Darvish, I'm not talking about for now, but I'm talking about when it matters the most in the postseason, if you don't have Darvish and then you decrease it to 3 guys, now hopefully Kolek would develop into a Michael King and you can trust him. But as of now, 3 guys, you're going to need a really good bullpen, and you're going to need those 3 guys to be really good. In a long series, if you get there, it's nice to have a 4th starter that you can really trust. And Darvish wouldn't be the 4th. He'd be up at the top, near the top, for sure. So, yeah, it would be a big loss. Again, let's read the title of this video that I put out, if you're watching this, Dealing with Fatigue. So it's not like I'm kind of going to, worst case there if he can't be healthy at the end of the year. But right now, it's not that. It's precautionary. We'll see when he throws. This could end up just being a blip on the radar, and it's not that big of a deal. But we do got to remember his age. What is he now? 37, 38? And all the innings that are on that arm. Preller did say, I think last month with Darvish sometimes, less is more. And that can be, especially when Darvish, how many innings that he has, his routine, he knows what he needs to do to be healthy and to be ready for a season. and to last a season. He is 38. So, yes, 38 years old. And so, yeah, they should be precautionary. At the beginning of this year, while it sucks to not have Darvish, if that ends up being the case, I would rather have him for the final 5 months of the season than have him for the beginning of the season, and he was dealing with fatigue, and he pushes through this fatigue because he's like, "Oh, I can push through it, whatever, it's not that big of a deal." I don't know if this is happening, but let's say it's sore a little bit. Okay, it's sore, I can still throw, that's fine. You push through that, and then what if it ends up being something bigger, and then he's down for a long period of time, and then you lose that? And who knows what could happen with injuries throughout the rotation as well, because it's not just 5 guys that you can ride in the rotation the entire year. But not having Darvish for a majority of the year, that that would really, really suck. So, I'm glad that they're catching this now. I'm glad that they're calling this precautionary, and yes, rest. If you're not ready for opening day or even the first time through or second time through, there is Kyle Hart, there is Kolek that are building up. Randy Vasquez, he's there as well. I don't think we should forget about him. He made 20 plus starts, I think, last year at the big league level. So he can do it. Are those guys Yu Darvish? No, but you can do it. And you're gonna have a healthy lineup to start the year, which is it's not what you had at the beginning of last season. So yeah, I'm pretty good. You'd like to have the bullpen depth be better with Hoeing and Reynolds to be healthy, but there's some strong arms in that bullpen as well. So it's not the end of the world if Darvish can't be ready to go at the beginning of the year. The Padres, Darvish himself, need to have the whole season in mind, not just the start of the season. And again, opening day, game 2 of the season, game 3, whatever, whenever Darvish would have made that first start, it's one of 162. And I know they can miss the playoffs by one game, but you could also miss the playoffs by like 10 games, 5 games, 6 games, whatever, if Darvish can't make those starts for the majority of a season and misses longer than what he may miss because they're being precautionary right now with it.